Morning everyone, it's Thursday the 25th of June. I've not done any filming for a little while, but I've been on board, been grinding back the paint and fiberglass around the chain plate areas and all the places where I've taken furniture out. You know, it's a really messy, dirty, horrible process. I've kind of sheeted up in there and I have to wear a suit. I haven't really filmed any of it because it's literally just going to be a dust cloud with a guy in a white suit and earphones and goggles and a face mask just kind of like in amongst it. So I'm going to show you the progress, and I've also had some steel arrive, so I'm going to unpack that now, have a quick look, and yeah, then I'm going to get back on board, suck some of the water out of the bilge. We had a lot of rain the other night and my tarp let quite a lot of water in. I've bailed most of it out, but there's still quite a bit under the engine, so I'm going to suck that out with my wet vac and yeah, get back on board and maybe have a little grind up. It's not too hot today, so I might get suited up and get back in there and carry on grinding away. And yeah, that's about it. But still, oily. I cleaned it first. Anyway, that's my chain plates. Figure out how to bend these little ones. In hindsight, maybe I ought to have kept it as one length. It's all cut to length at the shop. Might have been easier to bend, but I might be able to figure out a way to do it. Put a little bend in it using a press or something and a wooden block. I don't know. Yeah, that's what 150 odd quid for it. Not a great deal these days. The umbilical cord. So this is where we're at inside. Like I say, didn't really sort of record any of this because it's just monotonous, dirty, noisy work, and you know, once you've seen like 10 seconds of someone grinding or sanding inside a boat, you know, you don't really need to see it. But I can show you the progress. I think I'll just need a little bit more finessing in here in terms of making it, prepping it to have fiberglass adhere to it and epoxy and things. Yeah, making progress. Done a little, did 2 sections in here last night once the heat cooled off. My goggles steam up so much that it gets to the point where I can't see and I have to stop, and then once I've stopped and kind of cleaned myself off and dusted myself off and whatnot, it's kind of hard to get suited back up and come back inside. So, and my mate turned up, so we ended up sitting and chatting and drinking a beer. But it's not that hot today, so I might just get my suit on and just get this area done. I've got 4 panels to go, so it should take me like an hour and a half or so of just having at it and grinding. And then all down here was full of water yesterday, so I sucked that out with the wet vac where the tarpaulin's been leaking. I've got in contact with the company I bought it from just to see if there's any kind of repair sort of material and whatnot available, because I might just patch it up, because it was 250 quid, and it's done about 1.5 years, but like, you know, I don't really want to buy a new one. And then I sort of started sucking the water out of the bilge down there yesterday, because I kind of want to start thinking about getting all the wiring disconnected from this lump and getting it out, so that I can clean and paint and work in this bilge area, get things sorted out and cleaned up. I might have to have a look inside the water tank, which is there. There's the plate for it there. And yeah, just give everything a real good clean. I've come this far, I'm just thinking I'm just going to do everything in terms of the interior. New floor, yeah, new saloon, new galley. I'm still deciding whether or not to put the quarter berth back, or whether to put a holding tank, put a bulkhead there, turn that into a nav station, and then outside opposite the fuel tank in the starboard locker, cockpit locker, put a holding tank down there for I think you've got to have it now if you go in the med or whatever, and if you haven't got one you can't use your onboard loo, so that's something to think about. Kind of bring her up to date a little bit in terms of equipment on board. But yeah, that's a bit of a way off, but yeah, I sheeted everything up to try and contain the dust. There's another sheet down there which kind of wraps around and ties onto that thing there. So I think I'm gonna suck the rest of the water out of the bilge using the wet vac and let this hot weather kind of try and dry it out a little bit down there. And then I am going to probably get my suit on and get back in there, get grinding. I've still got this side to do, all in there and all in the cupboard. Grind all that back. So that's all still to do. Loads still to do, but got to chip away, right? And keep going. But yeah, all this was wet. All my tools got wet. All the abrasives, all the boxes are all soaking wet. I put stuff in here the other night and we just had torrential rain and thunder. But it's all good, it's all dried out now. So yeah, I'm just going to crack on and yeah, I'll keep you updated. It's Saturday the 4th of July today. It's been a while since I've done any filming. I've been busy doing other stuff. I've done a little bit of work on the boat. I had some steel arrive, but I think it's the wrong kind. So I've got to sort that out still for the chain plates. But in the meantime, I've turned my attention back towards the aft of the boat. I cut some new deck blocks to finish blocking out the aft section. And it's about 4:30 in the afternoon already, Saturday afternoon. It's taken me I had a flat tyre last night. I was doing my peaks around, and I got back to the depot and I could hear this hissing noise. And my tyre was literally just going tss, so I had to quickly get home, and I had to sort that out this morning. So I've done that and a few other chores, done my washing, a few other odds and sods that were kind of outstanding. But it's been a good week probably since I've actually done any meaningful work on the boat. So this afternoon I was going to remove all of the deck beams from the aft section and prepare the fiberglass beam shelf area with a bit of sanding and some wire brushing, ready to get some glue and get some stuff glued in, with a view to putting some plywood on this week. That aft section, get that plied out. So it's there, it's temporarily screwed down. I can get some of that black kind of flooring covering, plastic sheet stuff, and pop that over it as well, just to protect it. And once I've done that, I can just sort of continue from aft forward, cleaning up the deck blocks, gluing them in, putting on a new sheet of decking until I get to the chain plate area, and then I will just get everything I need together to get the chain plates glued in, and then I can deck over it. I've got 4 months, I reckon. I've got about 4 months of potential work before the weather gets too bad. So I'm hoping to have the deck on, fiberglass, the chain plates done, and the engine out, so I can work on the engine over winter in the shed. So today I'm just going to do a bit of dismantling, a bit of tidying up. It took me about 3 or 4 days to find my little tripod that I filmed with on the phone. I couldn't find it. I've turned the van upside down, turned the boat upside down. I found it in one of the lockers up on the boat. Kind of, it must have fell in and then just got eaten by all the sawdust and dust and fluff and that's all in there. So I managed to find that. So I'll probably set it up, film some stuff, get a bit of time-lapse footage of me dicking around up there, and yeah, see you soon. So I've managed to snap one of the legs off the tripod anyway, so it won't stand up. But yeah, I've just got down in this locker, and there was like this grid thing there, like a bit of fence or something that was kind of helps you not get inside. So I've pulled it out of the way and give it a good hoover in there. Just trying to get the wiring out that the e-dispatcher was connected to, without just cutting it all. I don't know if I'll use it again, but I've got to get this fuel line out of the way, and then I can pull this plug through, hopefully. It's a bit on the large side to go through the little hole, and I'm going to get that hot air hose out of the way. So this is empty, and I'm going to get these deck beams off and give that shelf a good. I'm going to knock it back with the grinder or something, sander. So I've got something to glue to. I'm going to glue everything in. Good morning. It's the 8th of July today. What day is it? Wednesday. I was up on deck yesterday doing a bit of sanding and prepping of the aft area, ready to get some epoxy in there when it cools down a little bit. It's over 30 degrees every day at the minute, so I think that's a little bit too hot to be westing. So I'm gonna focus on kind of working my way forward from the aft section. I'm going to remove a bit more deck today. I'm going to start dismantling the cockpit a little bit with a view to cleaning the inside of the hull properly and painting it and repairing any rotten woodwork in that section while it's too hot. I've got to order some new material for the chain plates, so I've just kind of put that on the back burner for now and concentrate on what I can do with the materials I've got to hand, which is my Doug fir, my plywood, and my epoxy. So I'm going to try and get some of that done and yeah, just keep the ball rolling. As long as I'm ticking jobs off one by one, you know, I don't mind flitting from one thing to the other just to keep a bit of momentum going. Otherwise I get stuck waiting for things to turn up, or you know, while I'm still thinking about what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with that today. My tripod's broke, one of the legs pinged off, so I might try and just set it up a little bit so I can capture some bits of footage of just general work. I'm trying to get my little surface planer to work. I've got some sharpened blades for it, but one of the screws is seized in and it's a hex head, so of course it's all minced up. So at some point today I'm going to go and get my little Dremel and just cut a little slot in the bolt head and see if I can get a big screwdriver on it and get it undone that way. So without further ado, I'm just going to crack on. It's really hot today, so I'm going to do a bit and have a rest. Yeah, see you up there. So that's the Morse controls. So I want to be able to just pull them out of the way, still connected to their little plinth thing. And then I'm going to start stripping this woodwork out and getting ready to replace the deck in the cockpit sole. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with that. So yeah, I'm going to pop that off, that bracket, disconnect that. I'm going to disconnect this red gearbox selector cable and the fuel cut off cable, just there. And then I'm going to disconnect those and get that Morse control out of the way. I'm actually getting excited for getting the lump out and giving it a bit of a birthday on the bench over winter. Just spruce it up and I can get down into that bilge, which is like so deep down there. Don't want to drop my phone because I'll never get it back, but there's a cavern down there. It's an abyss. And I've got to have a look inside this water tank as well. All these rusty nuts and stuff, so once I get the exhaust and all this old 12 volt welding cable out of the way and this water inlet, I'm just going to get everything out of the way. I'm going to take the sensors out for the depth and the cable and just keep stripping her back. I mean, look, it's like everything's just hanging on by a thread. So she needs updating. This feels dry and crusty and insecure. So yeah, I'm going to strip this all out, get the engine bare and strip the fuel system out, all the old pump filter housing and all the old copper pipe work, and just strip her back to her bare bones. I think that's the best way for me to proceed, really. And then start afresh with a clean slate, running cables, cleaning, painting. Yeah, you know, I'm going to crack on. I talk a lot and don't do a lot, so I'm going to try and remedy that. So it's proving impossible to film without a tripod, but I'm just undoing these. I'm going to get this filter out of the way, this strainer, yeah, just get this area organised, sorted out, ready for engine removal come winter. And yeah, so that's them two. And that. I might actually just disconnect this as a whole from the actual pump and the seacock. There's a little bit of antifreeze or something left in there. Antifreeze. Oh well. So I winterised it about 3 years ago. It'll be on the bench come winter though, so it doesn't matter. Even though I told this phone. Absolutely sweating. It's like 30 plus degrees today. Although it's not too bad down here, I've got to say. But it is warm. But I like the warmth. I might go for a swim in the river today. My foot's pretty sore for some reason. It's swollen up, so I think some time just relaxing in the salt water, getting the sun on my feet. And getting the salt water on my feet would probably be beneficial. So that's that. Some more water in here than I thought. Anyway, let's get that unbolted. And I want to get this bilge pump off. I want to get that off. Get this bilge pump out of the way. Get this side off. Remove that side. Well, I might leave them on because it's the only way that I can still have a platform for the ladder to come down onto, the companionway ladder, so I might leave them for now. But yeah, chipping away. Alright, so I managed to disconnect the Morse control and the cut off and gear selector cables right out here. I've had to strip down to my underpants because it's so hot down here. I'll spare you that, no one needs to see that. So I'm going to get outside now and see if I can shimmy the Morse taper cables through the deck into the cockpit and get that out of the way. And yeah, I am filth. And I'm in my pants and I've got to go outside and try and wash my hands with, I don't think I've even got any washing up liquid left. Oh, hang on, there's some there. Cream cleaner, clean surfaces without scratching, so I might use some of that on my mitts, get the oily residue off. Yeah, so I'll pop up on deck, see if I can get that out now. And yeah, I'm gonna get all this out of the way, start disconnecting it all, get all these old manky old cockpit drain pipes out of the way, just start clearing that area, ready to prep and paint. I feel like I want to get rid of this as well, this whole structure for now. Just get rid of it, it's just sort of in the way. It'll give me access to that bulkhead there, which I think needs repairing or replacing. Yeah, I want to rethink access down there in a big way. I want to be able to get through into that area like easily. So yeah, I don't know, but anyway. First things first, I'm going to get that Morse control unit out, stashed away, and then yeah, might gonna have something to eat because I'm hungry, and a drink. I'm going to crack on some more. So I'm just getting the multi-tool under these little bronze screws that hold all this woodwork down. Just going to strip this cockpit area out now, get rid of all these cupboards. wood fascia that's bonded onto the plywood. I'm going to get all that out. I'm going to get this up. I need to figure out how to get this key out of this rudder post. And I'm going to get these cupboards out of the way, lockers, so I've got access to the deck. Yeah, I'm going to replace all this and yeah, make it good. Do for today. That's it. Clean and tidy. I want to chip that off tomorrow. Bit of kind of veneer, and then I'm going to do the same at the front there. And yeah, just keep going. Get this floor up and sort all out down there in the depths under the cockpit. And yeah, continued destruction. Once the floor's up, I'll be able to get in there with the grinder, clean all this hole back all the way forward, get it painted. That'd be exciting. Yeah. Still got to make a decision as to whether to keep the quarter berth or bulkhead it up there across, all the way across, and turn that into a little outdoor locker. Put a second fuel tank in. Not that I'd really need it. Still my batteries there. Fenders, there's not a lot of locker space on this boat. I think all the fenders used to end up down in that really deep one just down there. But yeah, don't know. We'll see. On we go. It's enough for today.